As you get older, you find yourself at a certain crossroads. Should you try to look younger, or should you embrace the fact that you're aging? Now, there are a lot of mistakes you can make as an older guy trying to look younger, but did you know that there are some things that you might be doing that can actually make you look even older? Aging is fine, and I think we should embrace it, but we definitely don't want to look older than we are. And in this video, I'll be revealing 8 mistakes that us older guys make that actually make us look older. If you want to dress better, develop your personal style, and gain more confidence, you've come to the right place, because on this channel, I give you all the advice and inspiration you need to do just that. All right, so we all know this guy I'm about to describe. He's the guy you look at and are like, man, he was probably so cool in the 80s. He pulls up in his Trans Am that's blaring Whitesnake or Dokken. He's got that perfectly feathered and parted hair. Maybe he's wearing a blazer with shoulder pads that are a little too big, and you can almost like smell the mustiness of the 80s when you see him. And this guy, he's not dressing like this to be ironic. Like, he's not some Brooklyn hipster or something. No, what he thinks is, dude, I was the man in high school. I got tons of chicks, I partied, I drove a sweet car, and I still got it. Why change anything? And that, not adapting to the times, is the first thing that makes us older guys look older. The thing about this, and I kind of alluded to it in my funny description of this hypothetical person, is that there's a really strong mental component to all of this. We've all likely had great positive experiences early on in our lives, and it's natural to want to hold on to that. Like, this was a great time in my life, I just want to live here forever. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. We have to move on, we have to evolve, we can't live in the past. Sure, the clothing and hairstyle stuff, that's part of it, but the real issue is being able to mentally move on. Dwelling on past successes, triumphs, and positives to the point that it traps you in the past is not a good place to be. Things change, and change is hard. It sucks. But we know that change happens, and the sooner you can wrap your head around that and learn to consider change as a way to improve yourself and a new challenge to take on to improve yourself, then and only then can you start living your best life in the present. Now, as we get older, there are a lot of changes that happen to us and to our bodies. Most of them are very annoying. Things hurt, I don't recover as quickly, I get tired faster. We kind of accept these things though, and maybe we laugh about it a little bit, but we pretty much understand that these are things that we can't really reverse. But there is one thing that happens as we get older that some of us do try to reverse with the intent of looking younger. However, when we make mistake number 2, which is to try to cover up the fact that we're getting some gray hair, we actually make ourselves look even older. I don't know, maybe there are some really good hair dye products and beard dyeing products out there, but I feel like I can always spot the person who uses them. It just doesn't look natural. It doesn't match up with everything else that I'm seeing in front of me. So it kind of looks like a guy who is trying to cling to his past glory and not accepting that things change. That makes us look and appear older. There's nothing wrong with gray hair or some salt and pepper. You appear more mature, you appear wiser, and in fact, I think a lot of women and men would say that men with gray hair or salt and pepper hair look even more attractive and sexier than guys without any gray. George Clooney, sexy. John Slattery, sexy. Pierce Brosnan, sexy. Brad Pitt, I rest my case. Now let's talk about a mistake that us older guys often make that makes us look older that is very easy to correct. Now, you may have noticed as you've matured that your eyebrows have gotten bushier, your nose hairs have gotten longer, and your ears have sprouted hair of their own. It's natural. It happens. But if you let it go, not only is it kind of gross, but it makes you look like an old man. There are many easy ways to take care of this. For nose hair, there are any number of little grooming devices to choose from, or you could use a pair of little scissors, but just be careful if you do that. Ear hair, also easy with a grooming device or electric razor. I would caution you if you use a safety razor to shave and you try to use that on your ear, because it's very easy to cut yourself. and I am speaking from experience. And then as far as your eyebrows, next time you go to the barber, ask them to trim them up. They'll put the comb over them, go over it with some clippers, and you will look younger. So you've probably heard the saying, things get better with age, or things get better with time. And that's true of a lot of things like wine, cheese, whiskey, a great pair of jeans, quality leather goods, a cast iron skillet. But for most of these things to get better as they age, wine, cheese, and whiskey aside, there's a certain amount of maintenance involved. Taking good care of these things helps them age well and also ensures that you are maximizing their lifespan. The most important thing to understand is that this type of maintenance needs to be regular. It needs to be routine. It's not like you invest in a really nice leather briefcase, use it every day, beat it up real bad, never maintain it or protect it from the elements, and then one day, 10 years later, you're like, what happened to this? And is there any way that I can fix it? Because the answer is no. Once you get to a certain point with some things, there is no going back. Now, for some things, like the leather briefcase example, or a pair of shoes, or a pair of jeans, it's not really the end of the world if they wear out, because we can just replace them with a new briefcase, or a new pair of shoes, or a new pair of jeans. But when it comes to something really important, like your face, well, that's not something you can replace. And since it's also the first thing people see when they look at you, if you're not taking care of it, if you're not moisturizing, if you're not using some sort of SPF, if you're not doing that general daily maintenance, those effects are going to snowball out of control and you will end up looking much older than you are.